with me. Hi everybody, welcome back to Abouncinjourney Journey. I've lost my voice, it's day 4. So I'll do the best I can in a vlog. We're going to Palo brunch. We're gonna get some churro waffles and we have a chocolate tasting today. Welcome back. So we're back at Cabanas and we're looking for the churro Mickey waffles. Oh, I think they're here. Yeah, here they are. They only offer them on one day. They're so delicious though. Guys, DSC for breakfast is the worst. It's so busy, you can't find a table. So it's one of the worst days to get breakfast. A beautiful day at sea. So pretty. The boat. Look, we're in the back of the boat. So pretty. So look at that. And you can also eat out here. It's a little warm today, but they do have a lot of seating outside, so which is beautiful. So we didn't get the chance to sit out here though. So like you can sit here and then look at the ocean. So maybe the next cruise. On the last day of your cruise, you'll get luggage tags, and that's where you will pick up your luggage in the area with your character. You fill everything out on the back and put it out before dinner. Okay guys, you can customize a book, but it's $199. We have multiple of these, but they have gone up, so we will not be purchasing, but it's so cute to do. But I'll buy the digital package, I think, for $240 and get all of them and just do one myself. So just an example of what you would get. So here is the dinner menu at Palo. It's Italian based, but we're here for brunch. I'll show you guys the brunch menu as soon as we get seated. Okay, so here is the brunch menu. They have eggs, waffles, and pancakes, apple cinnamon waffles, buttermilk pancakes, pizza. They have an entrees of rollatini, chicken breast. They're all a la carte. There's no longer a buffet, but they have a lot of choices. So if you're platinum, you actually get this included. I'll let you know how much the price is per person. I think it's like $45. So here we are at Palo. It's pretty fancy. You do have to wear a collared shirt, a dress. You can wear jeans for brunch. However, if you come for dinner, there is a stricter dress code, so you would need to check that before dining here. And Leanna's looking fancy in her dress. Harry, hello. Hello. Have you all had a good cruise? Yeah? You feel better? Okay. Always towards the end, right? You always feel better?
I say it got better.
When you do dine at Palo, you get a great ocean view. It's in the very back of the ship. Guys, the best part, free mimosa. Cheers, everybody. I got my voice back a little bit. It's still a little scratchy, but I have it. You have some delicious muffins here. You have olive oil. So, very fancy. Bread on a stick. The antipasti collection with the crab claw. Is it salmon or tuna? Salmon and tuna. And then mussels. Okay. And then we have a delicious pastry with almond croissant, Nutella muffin, blueberry muffin, and I think you said lemon, right? On that one?
Yeah.
So a lot of delicious things you get even before you get your food. So this is the view that you can get if you're dining at Palo at one of the tables here near the windows. It's so pretty. What a great view. So back here in this room, this used to be where the buffet area was, but it's so fancy now. Do you fancy this? Okay, starting off ham and cheese frittata with arugula. Eggs Benedict. Does it have ham? Or what is it? Canadian bacon? Ham. That's English muffin, right? Has hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise sauce on that. These are just the starters. You got the filet steak.
Nicely cooked, well done.
Well done. And you got the potatoes, right? And you got the same?
I got the same, but medium.
Medium. And you guys have to let me know how those potatoes are. And it has garlic butter, but they look really good. They look like they're cooked good. Yeah. So,
Not my cup of tea.
bon appetit, everybody. I don't know how you say that in Italian. Bon appetit. It's not French, it's Italian, so I'm not sure how you say that. But we're going to enjoy your meal. Thanks for watching. Also, for the Palo sisters that were in here, with that, I met you guys from Miami. Hi. I'm glad that you met us and said hello. And I hope to see you in the comments. Cheers to another mimosa and making some great friends here on the channel. And I'll take whatever they're not going to have. So cheers to that. Look at Mr. Mickey. So cute. Strawberry waffle. What'd you get? Apple cinnamon. Apple cinnamon Mickey. So cute. Yep, you can go ahead. Yeah, go for it. Yep. Look how yummy. Well, there's nothing else to show for Leanne and Harry. Just having a great time, right? That's it, right? Woohoo! Yay! So they have the chocolate fondant and some other yummy desserts here, but we're off to a chocolate tasting and liqueur tasting. So I'm not sure if we'll get anything, but we might. But this is the dessert menu at Palo. Okay, so we have the chicken parm. It looks really good. And then lasagna. So you have some sugar here. Thank you. Sugar, regular sugar. Just some things to add to your coffee. Different types of sugar, it looks like. And then we have the molten lava cake. So here's the chocolate molten cake with, he said, Nutella sauce and hazelnut gelato. Everything is really good here. So $45 to $50 plus gratuity. If you're platinum, it is included, but otherwise it's a good value, right? You get a lot here. We had 3 entrees, basically. Dessert, free mimosas, coffee. It's all included. Isn't that a great deal? Guys, look, the motor's turning and everything's shaking. This is what happens when you stay or dine in the back of the aft. Oh my goodness. We are doing a chocolate and liquor tasting. Pink. And I am tired. Very tired. Here for a chocolate and liquor tasting. Hope it's fun. Again, we're super tired.
And you may be wondering what's in the shot glass. That is a really flavorsome cheese. Hello. Have you said from them? Giano Reggiano. So, have you heard of Parmesan?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a knockoff. This is the real deal. All right, this comes from the northern towns of Parma and Reggio Emilia, hence the name Parmigiano Reggiano. Right. So you may want to listen out for my cues as we go, because it's all about how they would pair with one another, and it would be a shame. So let's get started. Let's grab a hold of the champagne. But before we take that initial sip, it is customary for us to make a toast. So in the famous words of Madame Clicquot, from the wine team to all of you, may all your joys be filled with joys, and all your pains be only champagne.
It's bitter. It's a bitter.
I once heard someone say champagne is more than just a drink, it's a state of mind. I agree with that completely, because this really is something quite special about champagne, right? It's a wine that just seems to exist. And it's a wine that is noted for being extremely food-friendly. In fact, many would agree that champagne is the most food-friendly of all. It pairs well with almost anything that's placed before you. But let's put that theory to the test. Let's have an indulgent sip of the chocolate you have in the martini glass, and then a sip of your champagne. I see some of you finish your champagne. Remember, I said it's all about how they would pair. So we need to.
Do these two go together? Right? Let's see.
So sip of your chocolate, enjoy it. Your champagne when you're ready.
So good. It makes it much sweeter. It goes well together. It's not as bitter now.
Beautiful combination, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see some very
so
satisfied faces. I hear a few oohs and perfect pairing. But notice it's not just the flavors that complement one another. It's also a textural experience, right? And I think that's the greater appeal, because you notice the chocolate is mouth coating. It coats your tongue. It's
very
creamy,
smooth.
it's rich and dense. And then you have a sip of that champagne, which, by the way, is noted for having very high levels of acidity as well as effervescence. And those factors help to cut through all that richness. It cleanses your palate and just gets you ready to do it all over again. Little seesaw going back and forth between the fruit and the wine. And it's a heavenly experience. So I'd recommend you give this a try. And it doesn't have to be a sweet dish. It could rather be savory. Nor does it have to be creamy. It could rather be fatty or greasy. Anything that seems really dense and rich. And you'll notice it does make the champagne seem more approachable. Right?
It does,
It
yeah.
helps it seem perhaps
It's
less
not as bitter.
tart,
Mm-hmm.
softer,
I liked it.
more rounded, and perhaps less dry as
So
well.
elegant and classy.
Really makes it a lot more approachable. So, quite prestigious, a rich heritage. And what you've enjoyed today is their prestige rosé, which is less common than its counterpart, the golden champagne. But rosés tend to be the somewhat more approachable, fruitier style, whereas those goldens tend to be a little bit more lean, tart, and austere. But was that a good start?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Very
I'm very
good.
glad to hear. So if you still have some left, please go ahead and enjoy. We're not coming back
It's
to
all
either
yours.
of those.
Okay.
It's a great ambiance. You know, it opens around 5:30 p.m. and it closes fairly late.
Mm-hmm.
There's live music on the pink piano in the corner over there. And everything you see, all the decor, is designed to evoke the feeling of being inside a champagne glass. So, it's really gone all out. It's a perfect.
I better save chocolate for that. I don't like red wine.
There's more chocolate.
So,
Yeah, true.
whenever we smell,
Sweet.
sight.
Oh, sight.
Taking note of the appearance tells you a lot. For example, what happens to red wines in terms of their color as they get older?
Darker.
No,
Lighter.
the
Huh?
opposite. White wines would get darker. They would grow more golden as the years tick on. But red wines are stripped of their color. They move away from the ruby or the purple hue you would expect in their youth. And it progresses on to a more rustic color we'd often describe as garnet or brick red, just as I am doing. So hold your glass at the stem, facing away, and kind of bring it down below your line of sight. Little copper tints beginning to show, but for the most part, it seems youthful. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
All right. There's quite a bit of intensity to the color as well, which is suggestive of a wine that was produced with a thick-skinned grape varietal, because the skin is where color comes from. And some grapes just happen to have a thicker skin than others. All right, let's give it a little swirl. Aerate
Do
this
not
wine,
like
open
red
it up.
wine.
That's the second S. And the third S is the all-important smell. I find it to be quite expressive. It's not shy. It's really quite pretty on the nose.
Guys, I don't like red
fruity,
wine.
but also floral. It's inviting. So let's go in for the sip. And there's enough in the glass for you to take a hefty sip. Don't swallow it in a rush. Kind of swish it around. Appreciate not only the flavors, but also the feel of the wine as well. And try to save 2 sips in your glass.
I think I need chocolate to go with this. It's strong.
So it's a wine of quite some intensity.
Yes.
It's a kind of punchy, bold, opulent
Nice.
style of red wine. Yes. And I don't think the wine is as balanced as I would like it to be. And balance is key. Whenever a winemaker produces a wine, that is the most important box to check. That of balance, meaning there's nothing sticking out like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not
It always
integrated
does.
enough, but perhaps with time, it will be. If we lay this bottle down to rest for another 5 years or so, perhaps it will become a bit more mellow and a bit more integrated. So we may have enjoyed it a little bit too soon, but definitely quite hot. Seem less dry than some other red wines can be. It's still a wine we would consider to be dry, but not excessively dry.
I even don't like reds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
good.
So always ask for a fruity red wine,
Okay.
and you'll be just fine.
Grape juice, guys.
That's what I do in Palo, because that's where I spend most of my time. Palo, the Italian restaurant.
Yep.
Not on a wine list anyway. Not in a restaurant. Perhaps at Costco for $4. But, but not. When you're ready, have a sip of your wine while saving a sip for later.
Will this make my red wine better? Probably not.
So
It did make it
wine
easier.
is subjective, but so are food and wine pairings. We all experience it in slightly different ways, and what might seem enjoyable to me might not be enjoyable to you, and vice versa. So there is no right or wrong answer. Was it successful?
Yes.
Okay, there's a few no's, there's a few yeses.
Mhm.
Personally, I am not a fan of it. If you did like it, of course, that's completely fine. But let's now clear any chocolate we have in our teeth and tongues, and when you're ready, have a bite of the cheese.
Mm.
Only when you're ready, have that final sip of wine. You don't have to have the cheese in your mouth while you're sipping.
Now
There's
cheese
little
with wine.
choices, that's fine, but
No, it goes back to the original taste. It's better with the chocolate.
alright, so I'm pretty curious now.
Mm-hmm.
Show of hands, who preferred the chocolate pear? Oh wow, and the cheese? Which truthfully comes as a surprise, considering that theoretically the cheese should be the better pair. Because there's many guidelines that you could follow when it comes to your food and wine. Some foods we would consider friends of wine, whereas others enemies. And the friends bring out the best in your wines. They make them seem fruitier, softer, richer, sweeter, which may be the tannins, the acidity, or alcohol. So those friends would be foods that offer saltiness. This is always a great way to go. It will always lead to a successful pairing. But the enemies, on the other hand, they do the opposite. They highlight the bad bits in your wine and decrease your perception of the good bits. And sadly, one of those enemies is sweetness. So chocolate possessing the sweetness, and in this case, I think it definitely was illustrated, in my opinion. I felt that with the cheese, the wine seemed to be stripped of its fruitiness, it seemed to be stripped of its richness and its body, it seemed a lot more lean.
So guys, we just did a champagne, whiskey, wine, port tasting. Some of them are good. Some you add cheese, some you add chocolate to make it a little bit smoother. The experience is $50 per person, but it was really interesting and a lot of great facts in there. So if you're interested in doing that in addition to your Disney cruise, you just book that ahead of time when you do your online check-in. By the way, for dinners, you do have the option to skip dinner. We're actually going to do that tonight, spend some time by the pool. So we'll see breakfast in the morning for debarkation day or disembarkation day. So and we will tell you guys all about our Disney cruise experience. The live action comes out on the 23rd. And I noticed yesterday the painting of Ariel and her sisters. Good, doing good. Yeah, you like that?
Okay.
Yeah. Going surfing, swimming, hula, surfing. And then on the back, see? Are you excited for the new movie? Yeah, we're excited for it. Yeah. So we might go see it. Yeah, we're excited. All right. You say hi to everybody over here? Say hi. All right, let's take a photo.
After surface and big smile. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. One more. And 1, 2, 3.
In the open ocean at sea on sea day. Our last day here. So it's going to wrap up day 4 here on the Disney Dream. I hope you guys enjoyed all the cruise vlogs. Epic Universe coming soon. We might have to interrupt the cruise vlogs for the Epic Universe, but I'll see how that works out. But make sure to like and subscribe. Ta-ta for now.